I dropped my daughters off at Jessie's doorstep while my wife was inside consoling her grieving friend. The looks on their faces when they opened that door still burns in my memory. My hands shook as I drove away, watching them in my rearview mirror. Emma clutching her backpack, Sophie holding her sister's hand, both staring after my car with confusion written all over their little faces. But I had no choice. Work was calling. My wife refused to come home, and we needed every penny from this on-call shift. The past month had been hell. Ever since Jessie's husband died, my wife Sarah had practically moved into that house. Every morning she'd kiss me goodbye, promise to be home by dinner, and then I'd get a text around 5 saying Jessie needed her. The girls would ask where Mommy was. I'd make excuses. We'd eat frozen pizza again. They'd fall asleep waiting for her to tuck them in. I'd tried being understanding. God knows I tried. Jessie was Sarah's best friend since college. They'd been through everything together. When her husband had that sudden heart attack, Sarah rushed to her side. That made sense. That first week, I got it. Even the second week. But now, a whole month of me juggling 2 kids, a demanding job, and a house falling apart? The call came in at 6:30. My supervisor's voice was clipped and urgent. Server down. Major client. All hands on deck. I felt my stomach drop as I looked at Emma and Sophie eating cereal in their pajamas. Sarah had left at 8 that morning. Another day at Jessie's. Another day of me figuring it out alone. I called her immediately. Sarah, I need you home, right now. What? Why? I got called in. The girls can't stay here alone. Silence. Then, can't you call your parents? They're 3 hours away. You know that. What about a sitter? My jaw clenched. With what money, Sarah? We're barely making rent as it is. I can't leave right now. Jessie's having a really hard day. Something snapped inside me. And I'm having a really hard month. Get home now. Figure it out, Mark. I'm sorry, but I can't just abandon her. She hung up. I stared at my phone. Figure it out. Like I hadn't been figuring it out every single day while she played supportive best friend. Like our own children didn't need their mother. Like I wasn't drowning. That's when I made the decision. If Sarah wouldn't come home to watch her own kids, then I'd bring the kids to her. I packed their overnight bags faster than I'd ever moved, grabbed their toothbrushes, stuffed animals, clean clothes for tomorrow. Emma asked where we were going. I told her they were having a sleepover at Aunt Jessie's. Sophie got excited. At least someone was happy about this mess. The drive to Jessie's house took 15 minutes. 15 minutes of me rehearsing what I'd say. 15 minutes of guilt eating at my chest. But anger burned hotter. This wasn't sustainable. This wasn't fair. Someone had to make Sarah see that. Jessie's house sat at the end of a quiet cul-de-sac. Sarah's car in the driveway mocked me. I parked behind it, got the girls out, walked them to the front door. My heart hammered. My finger hovered over the doorbell. Then I pressed it. Footsteps inside. The door opened. Jessie stood there, eyes red-rimmed, tissue in hand. Then she saw the girls. Confusion flickered across her face. Mark? What's going on? Sarah appeared behind her. Mark? I got called in, I said, keeping my voice steady. You said to figure it out, so I figured it out. I handed Emma's bag to Sarah, then Sophie's. My wife's face went from confused to furious in seconds. You can't be serious right now? Dead serious. I have to go. You're their mother. Mother them. Mark, this is not the time or place. Then you should have come home when I asked. I kissed both girls on their heads, told them to be good, and walked back to my car. Sarah called after me. I ignored her. Started the engine. Drove away. Watched them all standing in that doorway, getting smaller in my mirror. Work was brutal. 8 hours of crisis management and coding while my phone exploded with messages. Sarah calling, Sarah texting, her words getting angrier and angrier. I silenced my phone and focused on the servers. We needed this money. Someone had to keep us afloat. I got home at 3 in the morning, exhausted, empty house echoing around me. I collapsed on the couch and finally checked my messages. 63 texts from Sarah. The last one, sent an hour ago, we need to talk. Now. I closed my eyes. Tomorrow. Would deal with this tomorrow. But sleep didn't come. I lay there thinking about Emma's confused face, Sophie's little hand waving goodbye. The way Jessie had looked at me like I was a monster. Maybe I was, but I was a monster at the end of his rope. The front door slammed at 7 in the morning. I jerked awake. Sarah stormed in, fury radiating off her in waves. "How dare you?" she started. I sat up slowly. "Where are the girls?" "Still at Jessie's. Her sister came over to watch them, so we can have this conversation." "Great, let's have it." Sarah paced the living room. "You dropped our children off at a grieving widow's house like they were packages. Do you understand how messed up that is?" "Do you understand how messed up it is that I had to?" I stood, facing her. "I called you. I told you I needed you home. You said no." "Because Jessie needed me. And your daughters need you. I need you." My voice rose. "For a month, Sarah. A whole month you've been gone. Every single day. Do you know what that's been like? Her husband died, and our marriage is dying." The words hung between us. "I get it, I do. Jessie's going through hell, but you have a family. You have responsibilities here, and you've abandoned them." "I haven't abandoned anyone." "Really? When's the last time you put the girls to bed? When's the last time you cooked dinner? When's the last time you spent an evening with your husband?" She opened her mouth, closed it. No answer came. "I've been doing everything," I continued. "Working full-time, taking care of 2 kids, managing the house, the bills, everything, while you spend 14 hours a day at Jessie's house playing grief counselor. She's my best friend. She has no one else. She has family. She has other friends. She has a support system. What she doesn't need is you moving in indefinitely. You're heartless. I'm realistic. And I'm drowning." My voice cracked. "I can't keep doing this alone. Sarah, I need my wife back. Your daughters need their mother back." She stood there, arms crossed, jaw tight. "Jessie's husband died a month ago, Mark. 1 month. You can't handle being supportive for 1 month? This isn't about being supportive. This is about you checking out of our life completely." "I haven't checked out." "Then, why didn't you come home last night when I called? Why didn't you put your own children first?" "Because sometimes adults have to make hard choices." "You're right, they do. And last night I made one." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "By traumatizing our daughters and Jessie? By making you remember you're a mother." I grabbed my keys. "I'm going to get the girls. We'll be back in an hour. Maybe by then you'll decide whether you want to be part of this family or not." I walked out before she could respond. My hands trembled as I drove back to Jessie's house. Morning sunlight made everything look too bright, too normal. Nothing felt normal anymore. Jessie's sister answered the door. She gave me a look that could freeze fire, but let me in without comment. The girls were eating breakfast at the kitchen table. They jumped up when they saw me. "Daddy!" I hugged them both, fighting back unexpected tears. "Hey, sweethearts, ready to go home?" "Is Mommy coming?" Emma asked. "Good question." Jessie appeared from the hallway. She looked terrible, worse than yesterday. Dark circles under her eyes, hair unwashed. She also looked angry. "We need to talk," she said quietly. I straightened. "Okay." She nodded to her sister, who took the girls into the other room. Then Jessie turned to me, and I braced for impact. "What you did last night was cruel. I know how it looks. Do you? Do you have any idea what Sarah's been doing here? Supporting you. I get it." "No, you don't." Jessie's voice shook. "Your wife has been the only thing keeping me alive this past month. Literally. The night after Tom died, I tried to kill myself. The air left my lungs. Sarah found me," Jessie continued. "She was the one who called 911. She was the one who stayed with me in the hospital. She was the one who made sure I didn't try again. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. Every day she's been here, it's because I've been on suicide watch. Her being here isn't about grief counseling or playing supportive friend. It's about keeping me breathing. Tears streamed down Jessie's face. So yeah, when you called last night saying you needed her, she couldn't just leave. Because I was having the worst day I've had since Tom died, and Sarah was terrified I'd do something permanent. Guilt crashed over me like a wave. Jessie, I didn't know. Sarah never told me. Because I asked her not to. I was ashamed. I didn't want anyone knowing how weak I was. You're not weak. I feel weak. She wiped her eyes. But Sarah's been my strength. And last night, when you showed up with those girls, she had to choose between being there for me in my darkest moment or taking care of her children. Do you know what that did to her? What that did to me? I felt sick. I'm sorry. God, Jessie, I'm so sorry. I know you're struggling. Sarah knows too. She talks about you all the time, about how much pressure you're under, how guilty she feels for not being home. But she's been trying to save my life, Mark, and she didn't know how to tell you that without breaking my confidence. The pieces fell into place. Why Sarah stayed so late. Why she couldn't just leave when I called. Why she got so angry when I said she was playing house. None of this was what I thought it was. Is Sarah still at our house? Jessie asked. Yeah. Go talk to her. Really talk to her. And maybe next time, trust that your wife has a damn good reason for what she's doing. I nodded, unable to form words, collected the girls, drove home in silence while my brain tried to process everything. I'd been so focused on my own struggle, my own exhaustion, that I'd completely missed what Sarah was dealing with, the weight she'd been carrying alone. Sarah was sitting on the couch when we walked in. She looked up at us, and I saw it now. The exhaustion, the strain, the guilt, all of it written across her face. Girls, go play in your room for a bit, I said quietly. They obeyed without question. I sat down next to Sarah. For a long moment, neither of us spoke. Jessie told me, I finally said. Sarah closed her eyes. She wasn't supposed to. Why didn't you tell me? Because she asked me not to, and because I was scared. Scared of judgment, scared of making it real by saying it out loud, scared that if I told you, you'd try to stop me from going over there, and then something would happen to her, and it would be my fault. Jesus, Sarah. I'm sorry. I know I've been absent. I know I've left you to handle everything, but I didn't know what else to do. She turned to me, tears spilling over. She's my best friend, Mark, and she wants to die. Every day I go over there wondering if it'll be the last time I see her alive. I pulled her into my arms. She broke down completely, sobbing into my chest. All the stress and fear and exhaustion of the past month pouring out of her. I held her tighter, my own tears falling into her hair. I'm sorry, I whispered. I'm so sorry for not understanding, for making it harder. I'm sorry for shutting you out, for not trusting you with this. We stayed like that for a while, just holding each other. Two people who'd forgotten how to communicate somewhere along the way, finding their way back. What do we do now? I asked eventually. Sarah pulled back, wiping her eyes. We figure it out together. I can't abandon Jessie, but I can't abandon you and the girls either. What if we created a schedule? Specific hours you're at Jessie's, and specific hours you're home. And what if I took some vacation days coming up? Give you more flexibility to be there for her during this critical time, while making sure the girls are covered. You'd do that? We're a team, Sarah. I should have remembered that sooner. And maybe we should also look into getting Jessie some professional help. If she's suicidal, she needs more than just you. She needs therapy, maybe medication, a proper support system. Sarah nodded slowly. I've been trying to suggest that. She's resistant. Then maybe we both talk to her. Set it as a condition for continued support, because you can't keep her alive by yourself. That's not fair to anyone, especially you. When did you get so wise? About 5 minutes ago, when Jessie told me what's really been happening. I took her hand. We'll get through this. All of it. But we have to communicate. No more secrets, even when they're not ours to tell. Find a way to let me know what's going on without breaking confidence, because I can't support you if I don't understand what you're dealing with. You're right. I should have found a way. We spent the next hour talking, really talking, creating a plan. Sarah would spend mornings at Jessie's while I worked, be home for dinner and bedtime with the girls, go back to Jessie's in the evenings when I could take over, but be home by 10. On weekends, we'd trade off, and most importantly, we'd work together to get Jessie into therapy and expand her support network so the entire burden wasn't on Sarah's shoulders. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. That afternoon, we both went to Jessie's house. The girls came too. We all sat down together, and Sarah and I gently but firmly told Jessie that she needed professional help, that Sarah's support wasn't enough, that her life was worth fighting for, and fighting properly meant getting the right tools. Jessie cried, argued, eventually agreed. Sarah helped her find a therapist who specialized in grief and trauma, set up appointments, reached out to Jessie's family to create a rotation of people checking in on her. Slowly, carefully, built a safety net that didn't rely solely on Sarah's presence. It took time. Weeks turned into months. There were setbacks. Days when Jessie backslid and Sarah had to rush over. Days when I felt overwhelmed again and we had to recalibrate. But we kept communicating, kept adjusting, kept choosing each other and our family while still being there for Jessie. Eventually, Jessie started healing. Real healing, with professional help and medication and a support system. She started living again instead of just surviving. And Sarah started coming home more. Started being present with the girls, started being my wife again instead of just Jessie's lifeline. Our marriage survived, barely. But the scar from that night, from me dropping the girls off at that door, remained. A reminder of how close we came to breaking. A reminder of how important communication is. A reminder that assumptions can destroy what we love most. I learned that support looks different than we expect. That sometimes our partners are fighting battles we can't see. That patience and trust matter more than being right. That marriage means choosing each other, even when it's hard, even when you don't understand, even when you're exhausted and scared. Sarah learned that she can't save everyone alone, that sharing burdens makes them lighter, that protecting someone's privacy isn't worth sacrificing her family, that her husband needs to be her partner in all things, not just the easy ones. We both learned that love isn't just feeling, it's action, it's showing up, it's choosing each other over and over, especially when everything is falling apart. Looking back now, I don't know if what I did that night was right or wrong. It forced a crisis. It brought everything to the surface. It hurt people, including my daughters. But it also created the conversation we desperately needed. It exposed the cracks before they became chasms. It saved our marriage by nearly destroying it. Maybe that makes me heartless, like Sarah said. Maybe it makes me desperate. Maybe it makes me human. Probably all three. But we're still here, still together, still fighting for each other and with each other, still learning how to be partners when life gets messy and complicated and impossible. And maybe that's enough. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Should a spouse always prioritize their children over a suicidal friend, or are there situations where both matter equally?